Hello, I'm Linda Feinholz, founder of On Day 91 and creator of the Momentum program. For over 20 years, I've helped business owners increase the stability, scalability, and sellability of their businesses. My clients and program members are folks who don't want to get stuck in their business. We focus on 12 business activities that increase the control, value, and freedom created through their businesses. I will always remember when I was 12 years old, my babysitter asked me, "Have you ever played 52 card pickup?" Honestly, I'd never heard of it. She picked up a deck of playing cards and ejected them into the air and looked at me with a kind of smug look on her face and said, "Pick 'em up." As you can imagine, that experience has stayed with me all these years, and it's not often that I get fooled into stepping into such chaos. And yet, that is precisely what happened to the entire world in March of 2020. Over the first 8 weeks of 2020, the business conversation changed radically. Because of the coronavirus panic and economic shock, there were 3 types of results for my clients and Momentum Program members. 25% had the ground open up and swallow their business. 25% found they'd been unexpectedly inundated with work, springboarded into chaos that had to be managed. And 50% had a sort of business as usual, but had to rapidly figure out new ways of working. So, for all of them, after the first couple of weeks of confusion, it became clear that the situation was drastic. Moreover, service providers were disproportionately impacted by this crisis. The people who cook for us, keep us fit, and our homes clean, all being severely impacted. And so are professional services providers across hundreds of disciplines. Unless the business could be classified under the umbrella of essential services, every business owner has been confronted with chaos and turbulence. How did this happen? In large part, it's due to the shift in the makeup of our economy. Did you know, if you look at the statistics from, for example, the U.S. Census Bureau, and I dare say it's the same, trends in virtually every Western economy, we've systematically transformed ourselves from a product-based economy into a service-based economy. In 1900, about 20% of U.S. companies were service businesses. By the last U.S. Census in 2010, that was up to more than 70% of all American companies now being service businesses. And even if they're not a service company, even if they have a pure play as a product company, I would argue that what distinguishes them is the service they layer onto that product. For some, that's the delivery, it's the logistics, it's the brand. It's the confidence I have that the product's going to show up on time and it won't disappoint. As consumers, we purchase stuff from Amazon that are usually commodity products. It's just products that used to be sourced in many locations. Amazon transformed things in a single decade by distinguishing themselves or differentiating themselves because they provide a unique level of customer service. Moreover, business service providers were also getting severely impacted, including everyone from restaurants to contractors to IT and business service providers. If your business isn't classified as providing essential services, you're sitting at home with everyone else. What we might call the lucky ones are those companies who could shift their production workforce to producing what were essential products. For instance, the car seat manufacturers who could pivot to sewing personal protective equipment instead of car seat covers. So the immediate response for individuals was to conserve cash, avoid human contact, use our time at home to do-it-yourself projects. Just witness how many of us are now baking our own bread. And companies also rapidly canceled business services to, again, conserve cash, observe physical distancing measures, and focus on short-term survival rather than long-term projects. So, discretionary services, whether you sell to consumers or businesses, are the first to be cut out. So, the lesson learned from past recessions is those businesses that are nimble are the ones that both survive the crisis and thrive afterwards. Today, I want to give you 8 keys on how to shift from providing discretionary services to providing solutions. Why solutions? Well, Harvard professor Theodore Levitt has a famous quote, and it's more true now than ever. People don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill. They want a 1/4-inch hole. All of us, consumers or businesses, are still buying products that solve a specific problem. Everyone wants the end result, not the process. The businesses who are winning today are laser focused on solving an immediate problem. On the business side, folks are buying Zoom for teleconferencing in order to quickly get connected. Slack is exploding in use for its ease in creating online collaboration, and consumers are dropping personal discretionary expenses, a huge percentage of services, in favor of products. People want the result, and they're shifting from getting it through services to getting it through products. This was first seen in Italy. Italians were the first Western democracy to experience the brunt of the coronavirus pandemic, disrupting life eventually through America and the world. It changed everything about daily life in Italy, right down to what people bought from Amazon. For example, there was a 236% increase in Italians buying sports gear, presumably to set up home-based exercise routines. It became so complicated to get exercise through personal training services that people everywhere began opting for in-home workout solutions. That's why, even though most stock markets dropped sharply, shares in Peloton rose up around 13% early on in the beginning of the pandemic and stay-at-home orders. As consumers, well, we're not going out to the movies or a great restaurant to relax, but we're sure buying more booze. According to Nielsen surveys, overall sales of spirits like tequila and vodka were up 75% from the same period the year before. Los Angeles-based Guerrilla Tacos normally serves up a lively dining experience, and they pivoted to offer a product called their Emergency Taco Kit. Spiffy shifted from offering mobile car wash service to their Disinfect and Protect COVID-19 vehicle disinfection product. Under normal circumstances, if you were hosting a party in England, you could use Encore's talent booking services to find a jazz band to liven things up. But now that live music is on hold, Encore has switched to offering its personalized music message product, where you can ask a musician to record a personal message for a loved one. You could send your parents a song for their anniversary, your best friend a song when they're feeling down, or your child a custom tune on their birthday. At Encore, they've taken their service and productized it. Law firms are adding subscription services. Other accounting firms are packaging controllership services and so on. I want you to uncover every single possibility of finding pivots you can make from services to products using the 3 principles to making the right next steps happen for you and your company. The first principle is focus now, focus fast. This is not staycation time. While everyone else in your industry is watching each other to see if anyone is genius at solving the normal things, be the genius who does the novel thing. Second, focus on getting cash in. That may mean trimming your offerings to the fastest moving selections and shutting down the rest, like a restaurant only offering 3 to 7 dishes, or changing platforms like all those live events now proceeding online. It's all about cash now, not planning for years to come. Don't waste this emergency, this crisis. Don't try to arm wrestle it into submission so you can preserve how business was done in December of 2019. Be committed and open-minded and imaginative so it gets solved now. And third, get nimble. You must pivot right now. You may be able to reestablish what you call business as normal in months to come. But that's running a business by looking in the rearview mirror. I want you to turn around and face up, face forward. The entire landscape of business may be different in months and years to come. You need to stay focused on the opportunities that are presenting themselves right now. If your business has relied on being known for services, there are 8 specific keys that enable you to transform from a service business into a product company. So let's dig in. The very first key in the process of productizing your service is to niche way down. A lot of people feel really uncomfortable with this step, in particular in times like these when you need more customers, not less. It's counterintuitive, but the first critical step in productizing, because services can be adapted and customized for a variety of customers, whereas products need to fit one type of customer. So picking one niche also helps you design a great product, which makes you referable. And who couldn't benefit from a little free advertising these days? Picking one niche also allows you to efficiently reach potential customers through things like Facebook groups set up to serve a specific target need, really targeted messaging and marketing. Niche down further than you're comfortable, then niche down some more. Here's some ways to consider it. First, demographics. Shifting your focus on age, gender, income, or firmographics, company size, industry, life stage, folks who are just married or folks who are looking at retirement, company life stages, startup stage, growth stage, heading towards sale, mature, and so on, or psychographics. This is where restaurant examples abound. Hugo's restaurants cut the entire menu down to their top 10 selling items, sold as meals for 4 people. Think about that. Rather than you showing up at a restaurant and ordering a $15 meal served to you at the table with all of the service around it, instead you call and order or order online, drive by, and they hand you all the makings for a meal for 4 or for 4 of your favorite meals to be used throughout the week. Here's another example. Jason Swank is a consultant who works with advertising agencies. He developed a digital agency owner mastermind, gathering of peers to come together and talk about issues. Not only did he pick an industry niche of advertising agencies, he went even further and focused on digital advertising agencies. And then there's Jane Portman. She's a user experience consultant, and she niched down to focus on the owners of small software as a service companies, SaaS companies. She developed what she calls the UI audit. It's a product which packages her user experience consulting into a specific deliverable product. Once you've niched down more than feels comfortable, the next key in productizing your service is to identify the services you offer, which are teachable to employees, valuable to your customers who have a recurring need for it, and they're repeatable. Folks will need them over and over again. We like to refer to this as finding your TVR, this triad, this triumvirate of aspects for your product. The reason this second key is so critical is you don't want to get stuck down in the weeds. You need to keep being the strategist for your company, looking for opportunities, strategic partners, and so on, while your team focuses on production and delivery. So it needs to be teachable. Moreover, it needs to be something people want solved right now. And if you can make it just like Hugo's Restaurant, something people want week after week, right now, you've got gold. So grab a whiteboard or a blank piece of paper and make a list of all the services you offer to the niche you picked in key number 1, and then score each service on a scale of 1 to 10 on the degree to which you can teach employees to offer the service, how valuable it is to your niche, and how frequently your niche has a need or a desire to buy it. Pick the service that scores the highest and then look at key number 3. You can always come back to this one if you want to consider multiple products. So key number 3 is to be extremely clear about what problem your product solves for your niche. The emergency taco kit makes cooking at home fun for quarantined Los Angelenos. The disinfect and protect product sanitizes cars for essential service providers. And let's look at Hugo's Restaurant again. Imagine defining your quarter-inch hole as providing fresh food. In addition to meal kits, Hugo's launched what they have termed the pantry. In a sense, it's a replacement for an organic farmer's market. Many of those markets have been shut down. They're creating an outlet for all the produce which growers would end up having to let rot in the fields. You place your order from them for 50 different produce items, 20 free gluten-free and vegan items, coffees, more than 20 wines, and they just charge a $5 packing and boxing charge and then pop it in the trunk of your car when you swing by to pick it up. A very clear focus, and yet it's an expansion of the products they're selling. With a service, you're typically hiring a person, but with a product, you're selling a thing. Unlike people who have names, products have brands. Think of the legal services of estate planning. No one wants to pay for a lawyer's hours, but right now, when everyone is feeling their mortality and worried for their families, estate planning attorneys who are marketing flat fee delivery of 3 tiers of wills and trusts can't find enough hours in the day to serve all the people reaching out to them. How can you emphasize your brand? That's key number 4. Key number 5 is one you've probably become so used to in your own life that you may not have noticed. It's all about ingredients. Service businesses often customize their deliverables in a unique proposal for every prospect. But product companies list their ingredients. We mentioned the emergency taco kits. Here's another example of listing your ingredients. Service company turned product business. Data stories. Businesses are drowning in data. It's easier than ever to track everything a customer does, but harder to figure out how to take actionable steps to improve your business based on the data you collect. Data stories helps you actually do something with your data. You provide them with the spreadsheet or some other data source, and within a few days, they send you an interactive report that's easy to understand. Even though they are essentially just selling a service, they have made it appear to be a product, and they list their ingredients in each of their offerings, and even call it products and refer to solutions. Key number 6 is all about how you handle the questions and objections in your customer's mind. When selling a service, you have the luxury of hearing your prospects' objections firsthand in conversations, and you can dynamically in real time address them. When you're selling a product, you don't have the benefit of that discussion to overcome objections. So you need to consider what potential objections customers might have and preempt them. So here you can see spiffy. They're anticipating and addressing potential objections or questions like, what if I'm not happy? What if you damage my car? Who's going to do the work? What impact will it have on the planet? So even when you're offering services and you're productizing, use the language customers have come to expect around products. By the way, services are quoted by the hour, day, or project, and usually come at the end of a custom proposal, and often then have to enter into pricing negotiations. Products publish their price, and the buyer decides yes or no and clicks to buy. Instead of just simply starting a consultancy, author Tucker Max productized his insights into a book in a box, which is a repeatable process for developing a book. The company was renamed Scribe, and you can see how they price their service, making it look more like a product. There we go with key number 7. Instead of generic bookkeeping services, Bench is a combination of software and human services. You upload your bank data into their software, and they provide income installments and balance sheets every month. Like any good productized service, they've branded it and named each of the products and priced it. So key number 7 is publish your prices. Key number 8 is to manufacture scarcity. Here's the thing. When in a product business, you need to give people a reason to act today rather than tomorrow. This means you need to manufacture a reason for them to act. Manufacture it with scarcity. One of the benefits of a service business is you always have sales leverage because your time is scarce. But those who've done construction around your home, you know that getting a good general contractor is really expensive, really hard to get. Hard to get movie tickets or sporting event tickets or performance tickets. It's like, when they can shoehorn you in, they might condescend to come to your home, do your job for you because their time is so precious. Well, every service provider has that built-in ability to point to scarcity. And so you've got to figure out for yourself how to create some reason for your customer to act today. So this is a taste of what turning services into products can look like. Right about now, you may be asking how many of these would apply to your business. Instead of scrambling around in confusion, playing 52-card pickup with your business, if you'd like our assistance in sorting out how to reset your company, I invite you to come join other action-focused business owners in the On Day 91 Online Momentum Program. This 9-week online program is designed to guide you through rethinking and resetting your business. Whether the floor opened beneath your feet, you've been springboarded into opportunities beyond any scale you were ready for operationally, or you need to rethink and redesign your company to weather the next 18 months of chaotic cycles ahead, this program might be a perfect fit for you. We're going to have weekly online modules and live group discussion. It's a way for you to connect with a community of other action-oriented business owners. It takes place at a faster pace than other business coaching programs, and the financial investment is considerably less than any other options. We've also built in opportunities for one-on-one assistance weekly. If you'd like to read more details on it, you'll find them at onday91.com/momentum. If you're uncertain if this is a fit for you, you can get on the phone with us to talk about the challenges you're facing and brainstorm what the next steps could be to stabilize your business so that you and your company can make it through this turbulence and come out stronger on the other side. I hope you'll step forward and take action today using the links below.